Welcome back. I'm here with Sheldon, and who runs Sworks.
Yep.
Can you tell me more about what you do and how many staffs you have? Let's talk about
I
it.
am the owner and sole employee of Sworks Design. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you start your Sworks?
It started around COVID.
Okay.
Like everybody else, nowhere to go, nothing
Okay.
to do, and have a small passion in coffee.
Uh-huh.
And then I started creating little things for myself.
Okay.
And luckily, other people have also enjoyed or like to see and have what I make. And then so I started to distribute a few here, and then I started to make more stuff, and then it just kept growing from there. So, and even to this day, it's just me. I do all this stuff, but it's also, I do what I enjoy and what I think is up to my level of satisfaction. So everything is what I would personally use.
Can you recall what was your first project?
The first project was the spacer kit for a Decent, because people wanted to reduce the headspace to attempt to create more body.
Okay. And then, so what was your first coffee machine?
The Decent.
Decent was your first coffee machine?
Yeah, the DE1.
DE1.
That's where it all started.
So you start making your parts for your coffee machine then?
Yeah, parts for my coffee machine. Just I saw, there's a lot of discussions on the Decent forum, and people were talking about the spacer. The guy Damien, he had spacer, a printed spacer. So I wanted to try something like that, and I had access to some machinery, so I just made one from stainless steel just to try it, and then other people wanted to try it too. So I just made some for other people who wanted one.
So let me ask you, how do you know what to make? It's based on feedback from your friends or a coffee community that, Sheldon, can you make this one for me?
Yeah, it's definitely based on feedback.
Okay.
A lot of people request stuff, so that's why I make so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will request something, and even if it's small, like I know, like a big company, they wouldn't be able to do it because they have to make such a large amount to be profitable. But because I want to try to give everybody what they want, like for basket, even I'll make like 5 of them, and I don't make any money if these 5 cost so much to make. I don't make any money, but if one person wants it, I'll sell to that person, and hopefully I sell the other 4 because I don't make any money. I just lost money at that point. But I want to give people what they want.
So by the way, people are wondering why Sworks is so expensive.
Yeah.
Is that everything is pretty much custom made?
A lot of stuff is essentially custom made or small batch.
Small batch.
Not many things is made with a high production method, and it has to be that way because I'm a sole person.
That's right.
I can't. There's no way I can stock 1,000 of some unit and try to sell all that stuff. And also making small batches is how I am able to make different versions quickly, but also offer different style, different colors, different sizes. And like if you look at WDT, which was popular at the time, I have like, I don't know, 20 or 30 different colors. And it's just crazy. Like if I had like 100 of each color, where would I even put it?
Exactly.
So that's why like maybe I have like 5 of one color.
By the way, so what is the most popular product in 2026 so far?
So far, I think it's still very, very varied, but maybe like puck screens and funnels. WDT is surprisingly not dead yet.
Okay, it's not dead yet.
Not dead.
Still alive.
And of course baskets. I'm known for baskets at this point, I guess.
So what kind of basket? I know you've been working on so you don't do step-down baskets anymore, right?
No, I still do. It's still very popular.
I think I heard that you make the actual kit.
Yeah, so I do a lot of 49 or 58 to 49 conversion kits. So the list keeps growing. Like being at this show, a lot of people are asking me about the mod bar. So that design is already done. So that's going to be added soon. And I'm always just adding more models. So especially the ES1, ES1 is popular. That one's already finished. I've been using it for a long time.
So you have the ES1 from Fellow Coffee. Do you have a sample of that here? Or?
Not for the ES1, but I have for the Flare, the Meticulous, and the Slayer that we can see.
Can you show me the even Meticulous one? So
all the conversion kits are essentially a diffuser to, of course, gasket, shower screen, and then the bayonet. So the bayonet is what the portafilter locks into.
can I see? So this one is for meticulous,
Yes.
and there's a slug. So remove the top.
Yeah. So you just remove the
Yep.
eight screws
Yep,
from the
eight-
meticulous
yep.
at the bottom, and then you raise up mine and put the 8 screws back. Very simple.
I mean, this thing is beautiful, by the way.
Thank
This
you.
is high quality.
Yeah. But you can imagine each machine, you have unique parts.
Yeah.
So however many machines I make this for, I have to carry, so many parts for it. And so you can imagine how much stuff you have to stock just to be able to maintain this compatibility for all these different machines. But I do it because I want to spread the passion, and for anyone who wants to try it.
So how do you control the demand then? Only way to do that is raising the price, isn't it? You don't want to have too much demand. So
So the price is really set on the manufacturing cost.
Sure.
So people ask for a discount and stuff, and other companies they charge you a high price, they have a high markup,
Yep.
and they can discount like 50% off or something like crazy. But the thing is, because all these are somewhat custom or small
Exactly,
batch,
correct.
it's all priced based on how much it costs me to make it, plus some reasonable markup for myself. So that's why I can't really discount things ever, because it's all baked into the minimum cost. Just because like the demand for a certain thing is not that much. It's like a typical company, they would never be able to produce this.
That's right.
Because 5 of something, they make no money. There's no point.
So not only you are going to make this, also you make the portafilter for that.
Yeah, the
as
water
well.
filter, the shower screen I
Shower
make,
screen.
the gasket is custom made for all my kits. So there's a lot of different things involved.
So when did you design shower screen? How do you determine how many holes or design? I mean, that's something you experiment with that or prototype it or?
Yeah, prototyping for sure, but it's kind of like a gathering of different information based on what's on the market, what I have learned just based on experimentation, and I've come to a, not a secret, but I've come to like the perfect balance of stuff I can't say.
That's right, that's fine.
But like this simple shower screen, it's the same throughout all my 49 kits.
Okay.
The water distribution is very beautiful, and it's a very cheap shower screen, but it's just I found the secret sauce to it.
Nice. And by the way, you know what? I could talk to Sheldon all day long, but I know so this is one of many Sheldon designed this. Hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This morning.
Of
Make
course.
sure to check out Sworks, guys. All right, see you guys next time.
See ya, bye.